Hello everybody, this is Curses here, and I wanted to show you guys my build that I've been doing in the 1 week. I know I didn't make like a day one, but I wanted to show you what's up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kill Residence Dom, and then we're going to run a Shape Strand. There's no defense, there's not really any meaningful mods on this map, so let's go. Alright. And then I'll go over what the actual build is using.
How are your maps?
Before we start, this map has Enfeeble, Ellie Weakness, nothing else too meaningful. We got Breach, Beyond, and Shrines. The build is Deadeye because I was hoping that there wouldn't be as many and I'd be able to actually achieve something in the 1 week. But it turns out there's a guy who's really good running Deadeye, so I didn't really even have a chance. But that's okay. I got to 91 so far, and I'm very happy with this build. I'm very happy with how far this build has gotten in such a short period of time. Because it's not Volspark, it's not KB, you know, it's none of that stuff. It's Tornado Shot. And there's something to be said about doing a build that isn't like super meta, you know? It's not as though Tornado Shot's bad by any means, it's a great skill. But less people play it. You can see that the DPS, even on the Tornado Shot, is pretty great. Single target. I mean, this is a T11. Remember, this is like, whatever, 3.5 days into the league, too. This isn't as though I'm doing some build that I've spent a month putting the gear on. I have good gear, but I wouldn't say I've been super lucky with my gear. It's been very kind of standard luck this league. I haven't had any giant drops. I've had 2 exalts. It's a bit more than average for a level 91, but it's nothing crazy. Alright, and that's that. Let me just pick these maps up real quick. Alright, and now I will go over the gear on the build. So, the first things first. I am using the Tempest. This is a low-level bow, right? It's the upgraded version of a Stormcloud. I used a 5-link for a long time while I was trying to 6-link this. Finally got it. It took a while. Probably threw 600-700 fusings at it, but I got it. Maybe more, I'm not sure. Besides that, I got Rigvald's Quills, which I farmed myself. That took hours. but I got it. It's amazing. Forking projectiles, really big deal. It's a lot of your AoE clear. I'm running a Calmsart that I had on within the first day of the league. I bought the cards for it. And besides that, I have just kind of two-tone boots with no life on them, tri-res gloves. These are most of my gear is self-found. Belt self-found, ring self-found, amulet self-found. This ring I bought and then crafted myself. I bought the opal ring for 60 chaos. This helmet I just bought with tornado shot damage, and then I threw a greed on it, got nothing meaningful, and just said screw it and threw my one hysteria on it, and got an amazing helmet. This is boosting my wrath damage. This helmet alone gave me about 4 or 5% more DPS. But that's not all, right? Because you saw that I was using Barrage against Dominus. How did I do that? Weapon swap. On my back, I have a Chin Soul with Barrage, added lightning, ink crits, weapon Ellie, and point blank with a signal fire as my quiver. So I just hit one button and I go from tornado shot, hit a button, barrage. Pretty neat. I like it a lot. It's really cool. Besides that, my links in my main weapons setup are tornado shot, GMP, weapon Ellie, and ink crits. Those are kind of your main setup. And then 5th link you throw in added lightning, and I just got my 6th link, and so I bought a lightning pin and I'm leveling it. It's a pretty big deal. Most of my damage is lightning. The lion's share of the damage is lightning. My tooltip is about 60k buffed up. So when you factor in, that's probably roughly about 200,000, 250,000 damage when you when you talk about shotgunning and shocking. The barrage. Barrage DPS is about 600k to 800k, somewhere in that ballpark. It's kind of a little harder to calculate, but it's still there. Quickly looking at my tree, we have a static electricity jewel here, getting flat lightning damage. And then we have just crit multi-life, life attack speed. I would like just crit multi, but I couldn't find it. There's not much availability. As far as the tree is concerned, we have 4 points there, and then a few points here for lightning damage, and that's pretty much it. This is a recent change. I dropped some nodes to come up here because it's actually slightly more DPS. For about 1 point and like 2% life and some accuracy, I ended up picking up Heartseeker and Arcing Blows, so I figure that's probably worth it. As far as in the future, we'll be picking up this life node, and then you can pick up these life nodes and these life nodes. I mean, that's already past level 100, so you kind of have areas to go. When I get another level, what I'll do is I will drop this life node here and pick up this jewel socket. Trade a 4% life node for a 7% jewel with damage on it. That's kind of what I've been doing for the last few levels. Every time I get a level, I've been dropping a life node and then picking up a jewel socket. So, yeah, it's pretty standard. For Deadeye, I haven't even done Uber Lab yet, but it would be nice to have. The Ricochet is the first thing I rushed. That's all. That literally doubles your wave clear. I mean, it's a big deal. I picked up Ricochet before I did Dried Lake farming, and then I pulled about 250 million DPS or million XP an hour farming Dried Lake. Nothing else on the Raider tree is really even good. Far Shot's okay. This is about 20% more AoE, but Deadeye tree is kind of crappy. Bow builds aren't best done by Deadeye, but the way I've done this build is kind of the best way to do it with chaining on Tornado Shot. If you weren't a Deadeye, if you're a Raider or something, you'd want to go Pierce. But the free chaining kind of gives you the AoE. So, I mean, that's nice and all. Deadeye is worse, but you can still make it work. And yeah, I'm level 91. The very first day I streamed like 26 hours and got level 85. 86. I got to 85 with a storm cloud. I had under 4k life until the mid 80s because I had no Calmsart and I was using a storm cloud. I was doing nothing special. I had just a piece of crap quiver, self-found gear, absolute crap, a 5 link on my chest piece which I bought for 5 chaos, and a storm cloud. The grand total of all of my gear was like 7 chaos plus self-found crap. So it's a pretty big deal. And it's important to note that once this is a max, it'll be 37 pin, and then Wise Oak gives me another 20, so that's 57 pin. So it's pretty much ignoring most resistances. Anyway, I'll make another video probably later on to showcase where the build gets to by the end of the 1 week. But thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.